We are keeping a close eye on some breaking news that we've been following for the last couple of hours here. This happened on the city's east side. You can see there are fire crews on the scene of what we've learned is a former Golden Corral location. So we do have Matthew Fultz on the scene working to learn more. As the last time we checked in, he said that they were putting out some hot spots. We'll see if that has changed when we see him in just a few minutes.
Yeah, it does look better than we've seen, in the past hour. And also good news, no one was in that building, presumably because it was vacant. So we'll keep you updated on that. But if you drive in that area down Washington, you might see all the activity and wonder what's up.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. Well, thanks for waking up with us here at 6 o'clock on your Wednesday morning, and maybe a little bit of rain this morning.
Yes, if you're getting ready to take off now, you are just fine. Okay. However, a couple hours, we're going to have rain in the area, and we're taking you live to Carmel. It's 44 degrees there. You'll see the ice rink, so it's a lot cooler than it was yesterday. And the folks at Carmel's Chris Kindlemark preparing for the Wonder Knocked private party. And then, of course, Chris Kindlemark opens up this weekend. And let me tell you, tomorrow will really look like that time of year. Today, though, we're keeping an eye on live Doppler 13 radar. So here's Terre Haute. We've had one little area of rain move through there, but Marshall, Paris, Illinois, and Casey, Charleston, at Eastern Illinois University. And then this very heavy rain north of Effingham, Decatur, and Bloomington, Illinois. This is all holding together, spreading out to Champaign and on the way to our western counties, including Covington and Petersburg and over towards Remington, Boswell, Fowler. I think this will be in the metro in a few hours. In fact, this is a look at 7 o'clock this morning. We may see a few sprinkles here, but then this line of rain will start to push through. And I think especially between, let's say, 7:30, 7:45, and 9:45, this rain is going to be present. So it will be here for a good part of the morning rush hour. But that's not the rush hour I'm concerned about. As we go towards tomorrow, here comes the light snow during the morning rush hour, but look what happens for tomorrow's evening rush hour. Widespread snow showers, a coating to an inch is likely through here. And it's going to be quite a day. 43 by 7 a.m. Then the rain comes in. 51 for a high today. And again, that weather impact alert day in place for tomorrow with 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, cold wind chill, and heavy snow at times. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But at this time yesterday, we had a mess. How are we doing outside in traffic?
It is getting better, so that's some good news. And I want to take you back to where we did have an incident reported briefly. We had some emergency crews on scene block this left lane of travel. This is in that exact zone that had that big issue yesterday. This is 465 eastbound, approaching the I-69 ramps on the northeast side. That is back in business without any major issues, which is some good news. But this is what it looks like just a little farther north from there. This is I-69 at the 465 ramps here on the northeast side. Do have some crews out working, so I want you to be prepared for potentially some busier traffic here in this construction zone. Remember that reduced speed limit as well. Delays starting to improve along I-465 East, now down to just a 1-minute slowdown. Guys?
Thank you, Lindsay. Let's get back to the latest on the breaking news that we showed you at the top of the show. This is on the east side, and firefighters there are still working to put out a building fire.
So this is a former Golden Corral location right along East Washington Street, just east of Midhofer. If you live in that area, I'm sure you know this area, but this morning it is filled with emergency gear. And so we say a former Golden Corral. So Matthew, hopefully this was a vacant building at the time.
Yeah, Julia, that's right. IFD officials tell me that this was a vacant building. However, they don't have any new updates at this hour other than it was a vacant building. But I can tell you right now, it seems to be that fire crews have this fire under control.
Looks like we might have lost Matthew's audio connection there, but you can see our cameraman kind of giving us a better view here of the roof where it seems to have been burnt and where we are seeing that smoke still billowing up there.
And that's where it looks like fire crews were concentrating just within the last 30 minutes or so. As Matthew said, they were putting out some remaining hot spots. This does look a lot different and a lot better than it has when we've checked in with him previously. So we'll check back in with him soon when we get that connection back. But right now, on to some other stories this morning. We know that a man is headed to prison after a police bus revealed a sex trafficking house near Brickyard Crossing Golf Course.
Police say this was an international operation linked to a gang out of South America. CEO New Yorker is live with the latest on this truly disturbing story. Good morning, Sia.
Good morning, ladies. Truly disturbing. Alejandro Santiago faced the judge and admitted that he, quote, ran a prostitution house. Now, he asked the judge for home detention, but she's sending him to prison. Now, take a look. That 30-year-old man accepted a plea deal back in September, admitting to one count of promoting prostitution. Santiago was arrested at a home near 30th and Eagledale Drive. Investigators say a teenage girl told neighbors that she and 4 other women were being held and trafficked at that house. Police say they believe the prostitution house was part of a human trafficking operation run by a gang based in Venezuela. One woman told police she was driven to Indy from Boston to work to help bring her family to the United States. When she got to the house, she said she was forced to engage in sex for money that Santiago allegedly collected for a gang boss. At his sentencing, he hung his head.
Anything else you want to tell the judge?
Know that I'm sorry for everything that's happened. I appreciate everything you're doing for me. And the lawyer here too.
The judge sentenced Santiago to 2 years in prison and 2 years probation. Now, coming up on Sunrise at 6:30, hear from advocates who are trying to slow down and stop this trafficking. We've put information and resources on our website at WTHR.com. Ladies.
Yeah, I know that they hopefully stopped this at that location, but the reality is this is such a big problem, and it is not immune to Indiana. Thank you.
And that's why we do want to share some resources with you even right now. So if you suspect that human trafficking may be happening, there is a national hotline here on your screen, 1-888-373-7888. That number is online for you as well. All calls are confidential and anonymous, and you can also report it by calling 911.
Well, in just a few hours, the man suspected of a double murder dating back to August will be in court. William Pascal Young is charged with the murders of 22-year-old Jayshawn Johnson and 3-year-old Armani Booker. Now, we told you he was expected in court yesterday, but that date has been rescheduled to today. That deadly shooting happened near 75th and Shadeland Avenue. Prosecutors say he was allegedly caught on surveillance video at a liquor store just before that shooting, and it was a witness who later identified him, and that's how police finally were able to make an arrest this past weekend.
This morning, new developments in the death of a high school football player in southern Indiana, as now 2 men are charged in the murder of 18-year-old Bryce Gerlach. 2 other men are facing preliminary murder counts, but they've not been formally charged. The shooting happened at the Harvest Homecoming Festival last month in New Albany. Investigators say the shooting was in a parking area at the event. They say there was some sort of argument between 2 groups of people and then a shooting after. Police say Gerlach and 2 others that were hurt in that shooting were not involved in the argument, but innocent bystanders. Police are looking into 2 separate deadly crashes involving 2 pedestrians. One of them happened last Friday, with the other happening on Sunday. And these crashes unfortunately add to the alarming number of people hit by cars in Indianapolis. According to Eric Holt with Indy Pedestrian Crisis, that's a group that tracks pedestrian safety here in Indianapolis, he says there's been 783 pedestrian vehicle accidents and 38 of which were fatal. According to Holt, last year there were 684 pedestrian vehicle accidents. 47 of those were deadly.
We were tracking the data last year and we got to the end of the year and it was, obviously pretty bad. But this year has just blown that sadly out of the water.
So right now there is a Vision Zero task force that is working to keep pedestrians and bicyclists safe in our city. This is a group that was approved by the City County Council earlier this year and had its first meeting in October. The goal is to eventually eliminate traffic fatalities by 2035.
6:09 is your time this morning. IMPD is focused on adding more recruits to the force. So now the department is getting a little help from the Colts organization to meet that goal. So prospective recruits in IMPD's readiness program were encouraged and heard encouraging words from Colts Center Ryan Kelly. Kelly says he feels a special connection to law enforcement, being the son of an Ohio State police officer. Right now, IMPD has around 1,400 sworn officers and have a budget for more than 1,700. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey says this partnership is a natural fit because teamwork, leadership, and resilience are skills that are not just useful on the field, but also in law enforcement.
Our goal here is to get our message out that this is the best city to live in, this is the best place to raise your family, and this is the best place to be a public servant, to be a police officer, and we are the best police department in the state of Indiana.
And Colts fans, you can expect to see IMPD recruitment messages in different spots around the city, including outside of the stadium during some of those home games. Hey, Chuck.
Hey, good morning. It is 6:10, and folks, today the issue is rain. Tomorrow the issue is colder air and, yes, snow. We'll see a coating to an inch likely from Indianapolis north, with northwest Indiana seeing a couple of inches of lake effect snow. Your forecast and the road to the weekend all coming up.
And it's a story that gripped the country. The woman convicted of murdering her 2 children by drowning them in a lake in 1994 could get out of prison. Coming up at 6:45, the reaction from the boy's father about her potential release.
And this morning, new information is being leaked about a potential damaging report on former Congressman Matt Gaetz. Now, House leaders are set to make a decision on making the report public. We'll explain these details at 6:15.